Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and it's that time of the weekend where we make predictions for the games during the entire weekend. It's game week 2 in League 1, and we are gonna start making our predictions, and we're gonna see how much of our predictions are true come the end of the weekend, and how many points we can make. As again, the game is quite simple. I get 3 points if the entirety of my prediction is true, is correct. Sorry, but if only the team that I think is gonna win, if that is right and the score is not right, I get 2 points, and of course I don't get anything if the entire nothing is correct. So without further ado, let's start. I did a bit better as compared to La Liga and Premier League last week, so I'm hoping I can get better in this week as well. The first game that is going to take place is Paris Saint-Germain versus Montpellier. They had quite a good game. Sorry, the fixtures have just just 1 second. Yeah, so it's a PSG versus Montpellier, and the last week PSG were quite dominant. They had quite a good win against Le Havre. They won 4-1, and they showed the dominance that they would want to show. Like they wanted to send a message to the rest of the league that even though Mbappe is no longer here, we are still a force to be reckoned with. And I think with the performance last week, everybody is again nobody really thought that they are going to have a big drop off, but you still need to send these type of messages to your rivals. I personally think it's going to be quite a tough season in League 1. There are multiple challenges for PSG's throne, and a lot of them would like to dethrone them. So PSG performing like that, I think, sends a perfect message and keeps everybody on their toes, not to think that PSG are just because Mbappe has gone, they are like just a walkover now. So I think they would want to continue that in their home in this game as well. They are playing for the first time at their stadium this season. It is going to be their first game, so they would want to continue that dominance in this game as well. They are playing against Montpellier, a side that drew 1-1 against Strasbourg last week. It was quite an interesting game. Between both teams created a lot of chances, and I would think as a Montpellier fan you would be a little bit disappointed that your team were not able to finish one of those chances and win that game last week. But I think this week it's going to be a little bit hard for them. I think PSG, with the form that they are in, and the way they played last week, I think, and now the fact that they are at home, I think it's going to be a very tough game for Montpellier, and I am going for an easy PSG win. I am going for a 3-0 win for PSG, and that is it. That's the first game. It's on Friday. That's like 6 hours from now, and as I said, it's at 3-0 for me for PSG. The next game is Lyon versus Monaco. Lyon, they were really poor against Rennes last week, and they paid the price for that. They lost 3-0, which was in a way quite shocking with the preseason that they had and the signings they made. Nobody really expected them to start that way, but as I said, they were really poor last weekend, and Rennes were quite good, and they got battered by Rennes, to be very honest with you. They would want to improve on that. They are playing home this time, so they would want a better result. They would want to get back to winning ways, start their season in a positive way. So it will be interesting to see how they approach this game. They are playing against Monaco. They won last weekend against Etienne, but that was quite a tough game. It was just a 1-0 win for Monaco, but as I said, it was quite cagey. Monaco played good, but they I have expected Monaco to not have that much of a good season as compared to last year. I think they are going to have a drop, and the way they played last week, you can say it was the first game of the season, so there was a bit of a rustiness, but they were not really sharp enough in that game. But the experience, I think, in a way paid off, and they won that game. And this time around, I think, because of how bad Lyon played last week, you could say quite convincingly that Monaco would come here and win. But I think because that is one of the reasons that I'm not going with that thinking. Lyon were really bad last week, but they are at home this time in this game, and they would want to give their fans something. Again, this is their first game of the season at home, and they would want to give back something to their fans. And with the way they played last week, I think they are gonna get better, to be very honest with you. And Monaco Monaco, as I said, there is still some rustiness in their team, so I think it is going to be a close game, and I'm sitting on the fence with this one. I'm going for a 1-all draw between Lyon and Monaco. The next game is Lille versus Angers. Lille, they won last week 2-0, but to be very honest, they were not really that good, to be very honest with you. They never really like had control of the game, and the way they played, I was not really impressed with that. They want to go and challenge PSG for the title, but as I said, the way they played, it did not really look like that this is a team that can go and compete for the title, so they need to regroup. But you can say it is a good thing, it's a positive thing that they did not play well and they still were able to get the 3 points. But on a long run, they need to get better, and they need to get better quickly, because of course the games come thick and fast. They are lucky in a way that they are playing on a side like Angers. To be very honest with you, I don't think Angers are going to have a good season, and I don't think they are going to have a good day as well this weekend. I'm going for a 3-0 home win. I think Lille are going to win it quite easily, and unfortunately for Angers, their bad start to the season is going to continue. Next game is Saint Etienne versus Ligue. Both of these teams, like, they suffered losses last week. Ligue were dreadful against Paris Saint-Germain. It was their home ground as well, but they could really do nothing. They played good games. They managed to hold on PSG for as long as 85th minute. PSG kept on making chances after chances, but they kept denying them. But after that, Ousmane Dembele goal went in. The Ligue just lost their heads, and the game that, to be very honest, should have been a 2-1. That would have been the in a way a good result for them, that showed that how good they were defensively. But unfortunately, it turned out to be a 4-1 win for them. At this time around, they are playing against Saint Etienne, and I think Saint Etienne played really well last week. They were unlucky not to get a point out of that game against Monaco. Otherwise, they were really good, and I think that is the reason I think they are going to be able to get a win this time around. I am going for a 1-0 win for Saint Etienne. They are at home as well, and I think it is going to be another close game between both of these times. Ligue, they would want to come back and get something out of this game, and try to move past last week, and in a way think that their season is starting from today. And I think this is this game could turn out to be a 0-0 as well, but I think just because of the home advantage and the way they played last week, I'm going for a 1-0 Saint Etienne win. The next game is Lens versus Brest. I mean, Brest had a disastrous start to the season, a thumping from Marseille 5-1, and nobody really expected that for them to have such a bad start to the season. I did predict them to have a drop from last year, but I did not see them having such a bad start to the season. Marseille were really good, and Brest had to bear the brunt of it. They are playing a team in Lens who won last time around. They won 1-0 against Angers. They were not really that impressive in that game, but I think I would say they wouldn't really care about it. It was the first game of the season, and I think that is something that comes off in some of the teams, but they got their all important 3 points. I think this is going to be a close game as well. Brest would want to come back and forget about that 5-1 thumping at the hands of Marseille, and they would like to get points on the board, but I don't think they would be able to do it. I think Lens are going to continue their winning ways, and I'm going for a 2-1 win for Lens. The next game is Strasbourg versus Rennes. Strasbourg, they drew last week against Montpellier. I think that was quite an exciting game, and I like the way that Strasbourg played last week. They did not win, but it was quite a good game to watch as a neutral. They are playing against Rennes. Rennes were quite good against Lyon. I mean, I already said Lyon were dreadful last week, but Rennes were really good. They did not let Lyon even have control the game for even like one proper minute. They were on top of Lyon for the entire game, and the goals that they scored, I think it was a very good start for Rennes. And to be very honest, I think it is going to be the same thing this week as well. I'm going for a 2-1 away win. I think Rennes are going to continue their winning ways, and they are going to win 2 on the bounce at the start of the season. The next game is Nantes versus Auxerre. I mean, Auxerre got a really good win last week. It was a surprising win against Nice, but the way that Auxerre played, it was really good to see a team, getting a promotion. It was first game for them in Ligue 1 after 1 year. But the way they played against Nice, it really didn't look like with the confidence and with the bravado that they came out. The home fans with them, the support that they got, and I think it's going to be very important for them to have the atmosphere that their fans created if they want to stay in the league. They were really good against Nice, and then they are playing a team Nantes that I don't think had a good game against Toulouse. It was a goalless draw, and I think both Toulouse and Nantes, they were really it was a bad game of football, to be very honest. They looked lethargic. There was no urgency from the Nantes player last week, and I think that is why even though Nantes are home, I don't think they are going to be able to win. Auxerre, they are coming with full confidence after last week's victory. I don't think they are going to be able to win it, but I don't think they are going to lose it as well. So I am going for a 1-1 draw between Nantes and Auxerre. The next game is Nice versus Toulouse, the two teams that played Nantes versus Auxerre. As I said, Nice lost to Auxerre, and it was in a way not expected, but the way that they played, I was quite surprised with the start from Nice's player. I think they were. There was really no coordination between them. There was the attitude that they had towards the game. I think that was the reason that they were not able to get the win against Auxerre, and I think if that continues, it could turn out to be a problem. They are playing against Toulouse, and as I said before, they were as equally bad as Nantes in that game last week. They played a goalless draw. And with the way that both these teams played last week, it's quite a tough one to call, to be very honest with you. I don't know how they are gonna react. I think Nice have a better chance of, they have a better score as compared to Toulouse, and they are expected to do better in the league as well. They are playing at home, but still the way they played last week, I think I am going for a 0-0 draw. This could be completely wrong, I think, but the way they played last week, I was not really impressed with them. So I am going for a 0-0 between Nice and Toulouse. And the last game of the weekend is Marseille versus Reims. Marseille was spectacular against Brest, like 5-1. Both their new signings scoring. Luis Enrique getting the double, Mason Greenwood getting the double, Elias Wahi gets a goal. So they were really good, Marseille. And the way it's not just the goal, it's the way they played football. It was really good to see. De Zerbi has had an instant impact, you can say, and I think it is going to continue for them. They are playing a Reims side that were quite unlucky, to be very honest with you, that they lost the game against not Lille. They lost 2-0. I forgot the team, sorry, but they were really unlucky in that game. I cannot remember the name. I'm like, my mind has gone blank. But they played really good, really well. They were down to 10 men as well, and the way they played, I think it was quite good. As I said, they were unlucky, but they are playing a team, Marseille, who are really high on confidence, and they are playing at home. I don't expect them to have another 5-1 win this week as well, but I think it will be quite an interesting game from both sides. But I would edge it towards the home side, just because they are at home, and the way they played last week, I think they will have that extra confidence in them, and they would want to continue their performances from last week, and that is why I'm going for a 2-1 Marseille win against Reims this weekend. So that is it. These are my predictions for game week 2 for League 1. I really don't know when this video will come because of a lot of stuff that is going on. I have work as well, so it might take some time. Maybe they might drop when some of these games have already taken place, so forgive me for that. I hope the things are going to get better from next week, and I would be able to release most of them before the game start. But I think this week is going to be a tough one. I think I'm like, with the way all the planning and my work schedule, it's a bit tough this week. But yeah, that is it from me. Let me know what you guys think. Give your predictions in the comment section below. But if most of the games have already taken place, I don't think it's going to matter better. But still, I would like to know what you guys thought before the games went in. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? And then we will see how many points each of us can make. Again, 3 points for the perfect score and 2 points if I get the team right. So that is it from me in this video. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 150 subs before the transfer window, and so please help me with that. Until next time, bye bye.